Woo! Well, Wolf Tracks, I'm Bobby the Wolf Mullins, your paranormal shock jock, your DJ, the outlaw, the #1 bad boy paranormal. And this is Wolf Tracks. My show, my way. Let me give my disclaimer right quick. If you don't like what you see, the topics, the language, hell, the equipment, well, then turn me off. If you like the topics, the language, the equipment, by God, turn me on. So anyway, look, guys, we got kind of a show for you today. Kind of go pull old Bobby the Wolf Mullins up by the bootstraps and get this show on the road here. Week ain't going real well for old Bobby the Wolf Mullins. So I'm going to just bear with me and we're going to get through this thing. God knows ain't nothing I can't fix with beer, right? And, you know, you see it's full and I have some. And I hear, through the grapevine, that the fan base has turned this into a drinking game, that every time Bobby the Wolf Mullins takes a drink, you got to take a drink. So, by God, have another one. Woo! Damn, that's good. All right, anyway, here's the deal. I got a problem. I've been doing a little research on UFOs, and they leave evidence, but it's always denied and whatever. Back in the 70s, excuse me, another burp's like beer. Oh, there you go. By God. Why fart it and waste it when you can burp it and taste it? By God, yes. Anyway, back in the 70s, there was a farmer. I think it was 72, not really sure on the date. But anyway, the farmer noticed he had some silver, what looked like, almost like the bottom part of an acorn sitting down on he had one sitting on his property. Well, this crazy guy decides to get the hell away from this thing. It's just sitting there, silver object. And he decides to get on his tractor and leave. He rode out on his property on his tractor and saw this thing. Well, once he got on his tractor, he realized it wasn't just one of them. It was about 5 or 6 of them. Well, these things started spinning and whirling, going around in a circle, and levitated off the ground. Well, in doing so, they just sat there. And then the more he looked at them, the higher they got. And they let out, he saw what looked like vents on the bottom, 2 ports or vents on the bottom of these upside-down acorn-looking craft. Well, these craft left a gray smoke trail straight up. It shot straight up. And I know I'm getting to the relevance of this whole thing in just a minute. They went to what looked like a cigar-shaped craft. They, I guess, docked with it and then left at a high velocity and speed. The thing is, this happened in Canada. Now, what gets me is the Canadian Mountie that investigated this claim noticed that the grass where these objects were sitting and were levitating or hovering or whatever, the grass was swirled and dead. Around it, it's all green. And there's something called a cowweed or some real durable weed. It was on the outskirts or outside perimeter of this dead circle. It's a real hardy plant. It takes a lot to kill it, apparently. Well, this thing, instead of the leaves being open, it shriveled up almost as if almost like the moisture had been pulled out of them. So it was kind of an odd scene. They don't know how it happened. They don't know what caused it. But something caused a whirling heat signature to dry out this grass and these weeds. In 74, a gentleman and his family also noticed on their property something similar. They were acorn-shaped, but they were more almost triangular. They had an edge to them. And this thing flew against the wind. It went around in a circle. You know, it whirled, but it went around them in a circle and took off straight up. And also docked with another cigar-shaped craft. But it left the same pattern. Now, mid-70s, Mexico, there was a downed craft. Collided with a private plane, so to speak, or a Cessna or whatever. Now, the Mexican authorities went out, and this is all documented, went out to investigate this crash. Well, when they got out there, they found the remnants of a small private plane and a disc. The disc had several impact marks on it, almost like as if it ran into the plane. And it was a downed craft. Now, the Mexican authorities, the military, immediately, hold on. The Mexican authorities immediately called for radio silence. Now, our government, being the underhanded mothers that they are, were spying on Mexico and listened to their radio transmission. So immediately we started negotiating help to get this disc. Now, we used satellite and surveillance and spy planes and whatever to get a look at what was going on. We saw a item being loaded onto a rig, a flatbed, that the Mexican government was loading up. This was the disc. Now, this is the problem they ran into, because they weren't given the go-ahead to help. Mexican authorities were like, no, we got it. Well, here's the problem. Through the spying with the spy planes and everything, they noticed the rig had stopped. And when magnified, the pictures showed a bunch of dead bodies around the rig. Apparently, the Mexican military had died, or part of them, not all of them, just the ones on the transport. They had run into something they shouldn't have. Now, the Americans, they gave them the green light, not Mexico, but we gave ourselves the green light to go get this thing. We sent several Hueys, a naval chopper, heavy lifter basically, in to go get this thing. The guys got out of the ships or air helicopters in hazmat suits. They were ready for whatever this thing had. Now, why are they ready? This is back in like 74, 75. Are you telling me that they knew what to expect? That the Mexican authorities didn't know what they were dealing with and we did? Okay, if we knew what was going on and we knew what to expect, that means we've run into this before. This is all documented, guys. Now, not only did we get the disc, but we got rid of the bodies and or the jeeps and or escort vehicles and the rig. Supposedly, according to sources, we blew this stuff up with high explosives to get rid of the evidence. The remnants of the plane that they were hauling around or trying to get back to their base or whatever. Now, this is what intrigues me. How come this didn't cause an incident? Why didn't Mexican authorities pursue, litigation or further investigation into why the U.S. took this craft? And why would the U.S. want this craft so bad? That goes back to my other show, guys. That goes back to my other show of he who has the tech wins. Okay? So any of it that comes up, we are going to try to nab it. Cigar-shaped UFOs, discs, flying wings, whatever. We poked our nose in Mexican business and stole a disc, a flying disc. It's probably currently at Wright-Patterson or, Area 51. White Sands. It's at one of them bases. Probably at Wright-Patterson. But anyway, to give you an idea, this is what bugs me. People take at face value that the government is telling us everything. And yet you have documented proof that we poked our nose into another country's business and stole alien tech, a flying disc. That's what's on the document, flying disc. Okay? The disc was described as polished metal with 2 dents in it. They figured the 2 dents were from the impact with the private plane, and that's what caused it to come down. Now, I don't know what was inside the disc, they didn't disclose that, but why? Why were they ready? Why did they already know what to handle? How come the Mexican government didn't know what to do with the disc and not be ready for whatever biological agents or radiation would come off this disc? Why did we know? Well, I'll tell you why we knew. Because we've already done this before. Woo! Another Burps Like beer. And speaking of beer, by God. We've been doing this for years, guys. We've been surveying the skies, the heavens, looking for anything that lands, flies by, or crashes on our planet. And I'm telling you, we got our fingers and everything. And other governments are doing the same thing. Okay? Other governments around the world are looking for tech also. Russia, when Russia was around, when the whole USSR thing, the, whatever you call their leader, gave orders to shoot down any alien craft so they could get their hands on it. View them as violent or hostile and shoot them down and bring us the wreckage. Basically so they can reverse engineer it. There's documentation of the Russians having a dogfight with a cigar-shaped alien aircraft. There is also documentation of Russia engaging a USO, an underwater submersible object, and losing. They lost an entire fleet of subs and ships engaging a cigar-shaped craft under the water. It obliterated them. Their own military got wiped the hell out by one craft. And this is now declassified evidence. So now go ahead, tell me there's no such thing as aliens, and there's no such thing as spacecraft and visitors from another world and whatever. Now, they're probably not little green men, but they're visiting us. Who knows why? I had a question posed to me. What would I like to see paranormal in my lifetime? Now, a lot of the answers were they'd love to meet aliens. Okay, yay. They'd love to meet aliens. Some idiot said they'd like to sing karaoke with one. That was just a moron. But now think about that. You want to meet an alien. Would they come here in peace? Would they come here to, I don't know, live long and prosper, share information with us on cures for diseases, lightsabers, whatever? No. They're coming here for resources, guys. Alien life will come here for resources. More than likely it'll be robotic. To travel that long distance from their world, light years away, it'll be robotic. And it'll come here looking for water and other resources on our planet. Okay? Now, if it's actually them, don't think for a moment they're coming in peace. They're coming to take what they want and leave us in ruins. It's just thinking objectively, guys. Woo! Nothing burps like beer. Think about it. They're not going to travel millions of light years to get to our planet to say hi and share postcards. Swap stamps. You know, set up at the local flea market. They're coming here for a reason. Alright? Now, the question was, what would I like to see paranormal in my lifetime? And everybody said, meet an alien. I personally don't want to. I'm going to have to view them as violent and hostile. They're a conquering race that has come to conquer, I would imagine, conquer us and take all our resources. And when the day happens, mark my words, guys, not only will religion fall, all religions will fall. The world will be thrown into chaos, and we will be conquered on that day. Because if one of our military satellites showed what looked like a craft, all right, look, get this. There was a craft or an object between Mercury and the sun, and a naval satellite that monitors our universe. We have Army, Navy, Marine, all that. They have satellites up there that take pictures. This naval satellite took a picture, a video of a solar flare coming off the sun, hitting Mercury and igniting it. That's what Mercury does. It's just a big ball of charcoal. But before it hit Mercury, there was nothing between Mercury and the sun. Then when the solar flare hit it, this object, which looked like two discs with a ball in the middle, ignited. It glowed orange. It wasn't there, and then when the solar flare hit it, it was all of a sudden there. So that means this thing was cloaked. We couldn't see it. But the solar flare made it glow. Now, when I say there's a conquering race out there, Think about it. It just brushed off a solar flare that ignited an entire planet. It brushed it off like you dust off a shelf. Now, tell me again how anything in our military can make a dent, scratch, or scuff the paint on a craft like that. It brushed off a solar flare like you're dusting off a cabinet. The inside of the ship probably didn't even get hot. And this is a solar flare that ignited the entire planet of Mercury. It burst into flames. And when I say burst into flames, the entire planet, I'm talking about all the way around, and shot flames off the back of the planet that was away from the sun. And this craft or object dusted that solar flare off like you would a mosquito. That flare meant that much to that craft. So now, if this thing's violent or a conquering craft, we're in trouble. There ain't on this planet that we can launch, shoot, or throw at this craft that will even dent, scratch, or scuff the paint. So now, think about that for a second. Do you really want to meet an alien? I know like hell I don't. I don't know. I'm good the way I am, thanks. Drive on through, please. Next window. Nothing to see here. Drive on by, please. I'm not big on, I love paranormal and all, but I don't think anything that makes a million light year travel here is going to be docile and peaceful and, hey, how's it going, dude? Check this out. I got cures for cancer, man. No, it ain't going to do that. Oh, by the way, you're currently listening to Judas Priest, and apparently my speech is slurring because I've had way too many of these, and I've been filming all day for Rainbow Owl and Paranormal Addiction Radio. We got a surprise for you guys. Anyway, and this show is brought to you by GTN, Ghost Tales Television Network. The Paranormal Superstation. Go to them for all your Paranormal Superstation needs. And, I don't know, pick up a keychain, a koozie, cup, whatever. Been trying to get the big titty chicks on the thing, but they won't let me have them, so I don't know. But all chicks dig the wolf, so, they'll come with time. Anyhow, like I said, this show is a product of GTN, Ghost Tales Television Network. Go to them for all your Paranormal Superstation needs. And remember to check me out on YouTube, Wolf Tracks into the Paranormal, and on GTN, Ghost Tales Television Network. And, guys, I'm going to wrap this thing up, and I hope I made you think a little bit. Get back to me. You can email me at onewhitewolf0706 at att.net. And as always, let me close this bad boy out. Remember, pay attention. Open your eyes, open your mind, and open your ears. And pay attention to what walks by, crawls by, slithers by, and or flies by. And if you get a picture of it, send it to old Bobby the Wolf Mullins. I just might use it on the air. Oh, and you see I got my White Wolf jacket on. Yeah, I'm going back to the old White Wolf jacket. I got the Paranormal's Raw Truth thing, but, the wolf's got to wear the wolf stuff. You know what I mean? A wolf's got to be a wolf, guys. And remember, and as always, let me close this thing out the right way. Hold on. And I need some more of this to do it right. It's hell being the bad boy. It's a good life. Like Mel Brooks would say, it's good to be the king. Anyway, remember, holler at your